is Samad and I'm an engineering graduate from Cambridge University. I spent my summer in 2016 in Tanzania with a society called the Cambridge Development Initiative. I would like to share my experience of working in the developing world, and in particular, give you some construction advice of working in this very different environment. Dar es Salaam is the largest city of Tanzania and the largest city in Eastern Africa by population. However, the population of Dar is increasing very rapidly, and people come and make their homes in the unplanned settlements on the outskirts of the city. Vingunguti is just one of these places. A good health is important for people to sustain households and for children to sustain communities. Unfortunately, the poor sanitation conditions means that the people in Vingunguti are stuck in poverty. Usually, people would go to the toilet in a hole in the ground. But Dar has heavy rainy seasons, and when it rains, the water table rises and the sewage in the hole spills out onto the streets. These are the same streets that the children walk on. Streets flooded with waste is not good because it spreads disease. To solve this problem, we are using simplified sewage to transport waste away from homes. This is a technology that has worked well in other countries. What is simplified sewage? It's a sewer network built with the community in mind. Unlike conventional sewage, which is big, expensive, and needs destroying of houses, simplified sewage is small, affordable, and runs around houses. Simplified sewage is built for the community. The villagers are excited to carry their own construction pipes and choosing where the pipes will be laid. I want to share with you some experiences and lessons I've learnt when I've been working in the developing world. When doing anything in the developing world, remember this: will the community maintain your project after you leave? Here are some of the lessons I've learned when managing a construction project with the community in mind. I had a friend in Tanzania who I worked with. I remember he taught me these 3 constraints for any project: time, cost, and quality. A change in one will mean a change in the other 2. So I'll use these 3 constraints as a structure for my advice. Time. Generally, you want to start and finish construction as soon as possible. Any longer and it disrupts the community. Besides, if you're volunteering from abroad, you'll be limited by how long you'll be staying there. So make sure your effort is used in the best way. Just gather the necessary data. For simplified sewage, you want to know roughly where the pipes will go and the total head between the lowest and the highest points on the network. It's likely that the construction will go differently to your plan. So save time and don't spend too long on perfecting an initial design. Prioritize getting the important stuff done first. For simplified sewage, pipes, pipes, and pipes. If you don't have the pipes, construction cannot begin. And finally, when things don't go to plan, don't worry. Aim to solve this as quickly as possible. When I was working in Vingunguti, one of the workers had laid the pipe too high while my team and I were away. This meant that the pipes on the upper stream end of the network were going to come above the ground surface and be exposed. Not to worry, we fixed this by simply installing concrete paving on top of the exposed pipes. Budget. One of the big selling points of simplified sewage is that it's affordable for the community. One reason it's affordable is that the community provide most of the work themselves. If you want the community to help you, you'll have to show them tangible results that the construction is happening. There's an exchange. We'll help you if you help us. What are tangible results? They're physical markers of a new sanitation pilot. For the case of simplified sewage, it will be the completion of new sewer-connected latrines. Incorporate tangible results by constructing 1 or 2 latrines early in the project so that the people can see what they're getting. Once you have a good working relationship with your community, you can get things done which you previously thought were not possible. For instance, they'll be happy to destroy their old concrete latrines or metal walls which are in the way of the network. They'll be happy to dig trenches overnight, and they'll be happy to collect and transport heavy bricks and bags of cement. It's important because having a good relationship can greatly reduce the labor cost for the network. Quality. When you're working on a big complicated task like this, you'll find that generally what can go wrong will go wrong. So you need to set up methods to minimize the error. For example, the things that can go wrong. Materials can run out. Workers cannot understand correctly what they were contracted to do. Workers may slack on certain parts of the construction, which would cause the latrine to not last the full 10 years. And the biggest, not remembering the expenses of each house. This is important when calculating the final loan amounts for each of the households. A way to prevent all of this is to keep a good record of what's being paid for. The handover material contains examples of forms to record the necessary bits of information. It's easy to forget your long-term vision when you're down on the ground all the time. Remember, we're trying to empower the community. We can incorporate this vision by basically trying to make the expansion and the maintenance of the network self-sustaining. I learned an important concept about sustainability, using a water pump as an example. Sustainability isn't that the pump is functional, but rather the pump could be unfunctional, it could be broken, but it could still be sustainability. Why? Because there is money and materials available in the community to repair the broken water pump. For the Sustainable Simplified Sewer Network, we've set up community groups to save up money in the community, and we've partnered with the Tanzanian Sewage Authority to fund further expansion. To summarize, I've given you some advice to help you in your construction projects in the developing world. They covered the time, the cost, and the quality of the project. I remember during the time there was a closed footbridge that we would have to drive by every day to get to Vineyard Beauty. It was only at the end of the summer when the footbridge finally opened. I saw lots of people on the bridge. Children were playing running up and down the stairs. It was awesome that the bridge was probably the highest point in altitude for some of those people in their entire lives. But it made me realize that in developing countries, the problems aren't that difficult. It just needs some advocates. In the future, I wish that from the way we do our international work, we help advocates grow from within the communities itself. Thanks very much for watching.